grade 12. So I'm going to be doing exercise 5.8, number 12 with you guys. Okay, so we've got a part A and it's asking us to prove this equation. So I'm just going to straight away break it down left-hand side, right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, we have tan x plus 1 over tan x. On the right hand side, we have, just got to find it, we have 2 over sine 2x. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand my sine double angle. And you guys know that it can only be one thing, so I'm just going to expand it to that. So this becomes 2 over 2 sine x cos x. The 2's will cancel and we are left with 1 over sine x cos x. All right, so that's what I'm going to try and get the left-hand side to be. Now, on this left-hand side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change everything to sine and cos. And I'm going to be using this, that tan theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta. So over here, we get sine x over cos x plus, now this one I'm just going to split up. I'm going to say 1 divided by sine x over cos x. Okay, now you guys know if we're dividing by a fraction, we tip and times. So this will become sine x over cos x plus 1 times cos x over sine x. Okay, so we get sine x over cos x plus cos x over sine x, because 1 times that is still going to give us that. Right, so we have a fraction plus a fraction, so we need to find an LCD, and our LCD is going to be sine x cos x. So we know this whole thing is going to be over sine x cos x, so this one needs a sine, so I multiply the top by sine. So sine x times sine x is sine squared x. This one here needs a cos x, so we multiply the top by cos x, so cos x times cos x is 1, cos squared x, all over our LCD, which is sine x cos x. Okay, so what we have at the top here now is we have our square identity. I know that this thing is going to be equal to 1. So we get here 1 over sine x cos x. And that's our right-hand side. So equals our right-hand side. And we have done that. Okay. Now, the second part of the question is asking, determine the value or values of x for which the identity is not defined. So remember we had that this thing is equal to this thing. So we need to find out where this thing is undefined. So first of all, when things are undefined, it's when your denominator is 0. So first of all here, we've got tan x in the denominator. So I'm going to set that equal to 0. And second of all, we have this sine 2x is in the denominator. So I'm going to set that equal to 0 as well. But now there's a hidden one. Okay, just remember that tan x is equal to sine x over cos x. So again, we have another denominator there. And I'm going to set cos x equals to 0. So let me just recap. Denominator, I'm going to set tan x equal to 0. Denominator, I'm going to set sine 2x equal to 0. Then for this tan and this tan, that is actually sine theta over cos theta. And we have another denominator. So I'm going to set cos theta equal to 0. Okay. And remember, we are trying to find the values where this thing would be undefined. So don't say not equal to, because we actually want to find out the values that will make it undefined. So question B, the first one I'm going to do is tan x equals to 0. The next one I'm going to do is cos x equals to 0. And the next one I'm going to do is sine 2x equals to 0. Okay, so those were our denominators. So this one over here, just use your general solution for tan. So it's shift tan 0, and we get 0 degrees as our reference angle. So x is equal to 0 degrees plus k 180. For this one over here, we go shift cos 0, and we get 90 degrees. And the general solution for cos is x is equal to plus or minus 90 degrees plus k 360. For this one over here, I'm going to go shift sine 0, and we get a reference angle of 0. But now just remember, our angle is 2x. So this is 2x is equal to 0 degrees plus k 360. I'm just going to divide through by 2, and we get x is equal to 0 degrees plus k 180. Just divide that by 2, which is still 0. Divide that by 2 is 180. But now remember, with sine, we have the second part. So again, 2x is equal to 180 minus our reference angle plus k 360. So 180 minus 0 is still 180. Divide that through by 2, and we get x is equal to 90 plus, divide that by 2, and we get k 180. So what I've done here is this is where this identity would be undefined with these 4 general solutions there. All right, thanks, grade 12s.